A brash young champ, full of swagger, stalking the ring, eyes locked on a legendary tactician. He belts out a taunt that echoes through the arena. The world gasps. But when the bell rings, that hubris meets a harsh decision. That champ, Devin Haney, and the man he dared to challenge, only the boxing genius, Vasyl Lomachenko. Welcome to the story of he dared to taunt Lomachenko in the ring and got schooled. This isn't just a fight recap. It's drama, redemption, controversy, and a masterclass in boxing psychology. Buckle up, this one hits deep. It's September 2019, and Devin Haney, then a rising lightweight phenom, has just secured a TKO against Zorabdulayev. But it's what he says next that ignites global chatter. Lomachenko, that one-liner? It wasn't just a cheek, it was a gauntlet thrown. Haney, undefeated and cocky, was goading Lomachenko, widely considered the world's best pure boxer. You've got to admire the guts or the audacity. In context, Lomachenko was still terrified. Three-division world champ, an amateur phenom. But perhaps that brash confidence was Haney's strategy to rattle the veteran, lay claim to lightweight supremacy, and attract eyeballs. The boxing world erupted. Some scoffed at the disrespect. Others saw clever gamesmanship. One thing was clear, Haney had officially put Lomachenko on notice, and that alone was headline-worthy. Fast forward to hype-building promos and press tours. Haney continued the showmanship, fashion statements, slick lines, and even that savage shove on the scales before their 2023 bout. Call it intimidation, call it gamesmanship. Either way, the tension was palpable. But what didn't he anticipate? That Lomachenko would respond not with trash talk, but with surgical precision. The kind that makes fans gape and pundits nod in approval. Haney just bit off more than he could chew, and the ring was about to serve him a heaping plate of humble pie. In the world of boxing, trash talk is often part of the game, but taunting someone like Lomachenko was a bold gamble. Haney had speed, power, and confidence, but Loma had experience, timing, and a mind like a chess grandmaster. That single word, Lomachenko, was more than a jab. It lit a fire that would smolder for years, setting up a storm that neither fighter could back away from. What began as banter soon became a battleground, and for Haney, the lesson ahead would come wrapped in jabs, counters, and a masterclass in ring IQ. May 20th, 2023, MGM Grand Garden Arena. Two fighters, 24-year-old Haney, the undefeated king of the ring, versus 35-year-old Lomachenko, Loma, the veteran with a decade of brilliance. Broadcast as Checkmate, the stakes were sky high. Undisputed lightweight titles on the line. Round one kicks off and Haney dances in, using reach and speed. But Lomachenko, ever the chess master, counters awkwardly, angles beautifully, and lands crisp head combinations. Already you sense this isn't going to be a blowout. As the rounds unfold, the fight grows tighter. Haney's jab and bodywork draw praise. Meanwhile, Lomachenko's footwork and counterpunching remain slick. It's a mastery versus youth story, each round a microdrama. Mid-bout, Lomachenko begins to dominate. He takes rounds 10 and 11 convincingly, his signature angles peppering Haney's defense. It's the type of performance that makes you lean forward, but Haney isn't done. Round 12 sees him land meaningful lefts and body shots, the kind that can tip judges' decisions. Enter CompuBox numbers. Haney lands 110 out of 405, 27%. Lomachenko 124 out of 564, 22%. Visually, Lomachenko seemed busier and more precise, but Haney's shots packed more impact. When the final bell rings, the arena holds its breath. Judges score 116 to 112, 115 to 113, and 115 to 113 for Haney. Uproar ensues. Fans gasp, experts fume. A man of iron, but was it enough? Pundits and fighters weigh in. Shakur Stevenson and Jorge Linares, both heavyweights in the analysis, voiced strong opinions, with Stevenson saying Lomachenko deserves the nod.
Lomachenko should be undisputed champion. He won.
Wow.
He won. He won that fight.
What was it about his performance tonight that makes you say that he deserved the win?
He landed the cleaner punches. He landed the cleaner shots on Dev, and he pushed the pace.
Replays and social media memes call it a robbery. Even Lomachenko's team hints at a potential appeal. The official verdict hangs. Haney retains his undisputed status, but the schooling badge is firmly pinned to Lomachenko, at least in the court of public opinion. Despite the judge's decision, it felt like the boxing world had just witnessed a poetic masterclass. Lomachenko didn't just fight, he painted a picture with every pivot and punch. Haney walked out with the belts, but Loma walked out with the fans. The arena buzzed not with celebration, but with disbelief. Twitter trended with robbery, highlight reels glorified Loma's precision, and boxing forums lit up with heated debate. If Haney expected to leave with a legacy moment, he got it, but probably not in the way he imagined. Right after the decision, the drama didn't end. At the weigh-in earlier, things turned physical. Haney violently shoved Lomachenko during a face-off. NSAC stepped in. Haney was fined $25,000 for the act. A slap, sure, but the symbolism was loud. Public reaction, mixed. Fans criticized Haney for disrespect. Others argued that pre-fight heat is part of the show. One thing was sure, he paid for theatrics. Then came the interviews. Haney, somber yet defiant, called Lomachenko his toughest opponent yet. He praised Loma's skills and admitted, he's a genius out there. That humility softened his earlier brashness, but only slightly. Media outlets highlighted the contrast between his trash talk and his later deference. Lomachenko, ever composed, took the controversy in stride. He didn't storm off or launch into wild accusations. Instead, he thanked fans and hinted they might see an appeal, offering hope for a rematch, but not expectations. Analysts began breakdowns. Dave Moretti's scorecards scrutinized. Rounds like the decisive 10th, scored for Haney, sparked outrage. Critics asked, was it home cooking, or did judges miss a matador dancing masterfully? Yet for some, fairness found peace. Haney did enough to eke out the win, even if Loma won the crowd's hearts. After all, that 12th round rally mattered. The fight's broader impact? Huge. Haney cemented his status as a lightweight's prodigy. Lomachenko's stock? Sky high in public affection. The rematch talks began blinking red hot. Boxing brass and fans smelled a sequel. Checkmate 2. But beyond the noise, one thing was undeniable. This bout changed the narrative for both fighters. Haney, once seen as just flash and fast hands, had faced a legend and survived. Lomachenko, written off by some due to age, reminded the world he's still a nightmare for anyone in the division. Beyond the drama, this fight matters for boxing history. Devin Haney's legacy, undefeated at 32-0-1 with a no contest, holding light welterweight titles from 2023 to 2024. This was his centerpiece moment, a defense that both challenged and matured him. He emerged oddly as both star and scrub. He had the championships and the buzz, but critics argued his game wasn't yet on par with the sport's greatest, like Lomachenko. That's changed now. He earned a badge of respect. He also learned humility. That cheeky shove, that wild taunt, it's part of showbiz. But the aftermath taught the power of performance diplomacy. Hype sells fights, but respect cements legacy. The unofficial winner of the moral bout. His record of 18-3 doesn't tell the full story. The loss may shrink his record, but it enlarged his reputation. He took on youth, speed, and youth bravado, and on hearts he won big. This fight will be a career highlight. Even at 35, after achieving Olympic glory and multiple titles, he demonstrated that he's still an elite athlete. By all rights, this should have ended cleanly for Lomachenko. Yet the sport reminds us, business meets glory in those judges' booths. Controversies draw eyes, and that's partially the point. But integrity is the prize for fans, fighters, and the sport. That's it. Devin Haney ventured to make fun of Lomachenko, but he lost despite being outthought and outboxed. It was a master lesson in much more than just punching, humility, respect, and resiliency. It was drama and controversy. While fighters are recognized for their successes, what about tales like this? They never stop echoing. Think Haney really won? Or did Loma get robbed? Let us know below, and subscribe for more untold stories from the fight game's fiercest moments.